Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the History Fellow channel again. Here today with a book tag. I don't often do the book tags unless I think they're interesting, but this one on my screen says it's called the 1001 book tags, or 1001 books tag. I think I might have done this before, but I can't see it on a previous video on the channel, so maybe I haven't, or just done one similar. But as it's Tag Tuesday, I thought I'd give this one a go. Right, I've got the questions on my screen, so if you see me looking down, it's because I'm reading them off. But here we go. 1001 lists. Do you follow any book lists? It can be prize list or a challenge, like the Rory Gilmore challenge. Do I follow any lists? No, not at all. Mainly because well, history is such a varied subject, and I'd be following hundreds and hundreds of lists if I wanted to, because each particular conflict or war or subject or social subject would have its own list, so you'd be following endless lists. When I'm on Twitter, I do follow historians and ones about historical books, so I mean they're the only kind of lists, but they're nothing specific. 1001 books. Approximately how many physical books do you currently own? And then how many ebooks? Physical books, I'm building up quite a library at the moment. And whilst I've never counted them, I'm going to say around about 600 to 700 in total. Sort of half of them I've bought, half of them I've been sent to review, so it's kind of a 50-50 split roughly. And as for ebooks, I quite like ebooks, but I kind of tend to, 1 month I might favour the ebooks, then the rest of the time it's the hardbacks that I get. And then the next month it might be back to the ebooks. So it's a much smaller pile of ebooks that I've got on my Kindle. I've probably got about 100 books on there, but I really prefer reading an actual book rather than an ebook. Although an ebook is good when you're laid in bed and you I'll lay on my side and read from the Kindle there. It's much easier holding a Kindle than it is a big hardback book in bed. 1001 books read. Approximately how many books have you read in your lifetime, and do you keep track? Oh, I must have read well, I'm going to say a couple of thousand, because it wasn't until sort of like 10-15 years ago I really started reading prolifically. So I'm going to go for that figure. Do I keep track? No. God, I'd spend all my time just finding homes for little jotter pads with the names and authors of books and that sort of thing, and what page I got up to, whether I found it interesting, that sort of thing. So no, I don't bother with keeping a log of what I've read. I find I have a good picture memory, as in I have a good memory for faces and films and book covers. So if I can see if I've got a really interesting book to read and I like the cover, it's highly unlikely I'm going to forget it. So that's what I'm like. 1001 Arabian Nights. Have you read any stories from the Arabian Nights? Nope. Do you have a favourite? Nope. And if you haven't read it, do you want to? No. There you go, that one was quick and easy. 1001 flavours. Do you have a favourite food or flavour? Ooh. Well, usually as people usually say, what type of pizza do you prefer? I'll happily go for a meat feast or a pepperoni passion. Or they ask about ice cream flavours for some reason. I like anything toffee or caramel or rum and raisin or strawberry. But if it's good ice cream, then I'll happily eat any ice cream. Flavour, people usually they do that. They ask the Coke question: Do you prefer Coca-Cola or Pepsi? I much prefer Coca-Cola. Pepsi, to me, Pepsi's far too gassy and that sort of thing. So, 1001 pages. Have you read a book that is over 1001 pages? Is there one that you recommend, and is it worth the time? What is the longest book you have read? I've recently read, what was it called? Grant by Ron Chernow, which I think is just over 1,000, sort of around that 1,100 mark. Was it a good book? Yes, it certainly was. Would I recommend it? Yes, definitely. Kind of one of the best books I've read on like a military leader or president type person. And I quite like Ron Chernow's books. The longest book I've read, maybe it was, these haven't been the longest books, but maybe sometimes you read a book and you think, oh God, this is hard work, or the story just doesn't seem to be working well. It can then feel like it's the longest book in the world. I've read a few of them. None of them stick out in my memory, but then the bad books don't usually stick in your mind, do they? It's usually the good books that do. 1001 buckets. Do you have a non-bookish bucket list? Non-bookish bucket list. What is one thing on the list? Do I have a bucket list? No, just to live as long as possible without pain. That would be nice. No, I don't really go for bucket lists. I'm just content. So, my wife and I always say, as long as we've got enough money to pay the bills, so we're relatively a happy family as it is. So, no, I don't really go in for bucket lists. 1001 numbers. Do you have a lucky number? And is there a story behind it? 24, because I was obviously born on the 24th. And 7, because Eric Cantona, who used to play for Manchester United, his shirt number was number 7. So, yep, 7 and 24. 1001 authors. Do you have a favourite author and genre? I love reading about American history. I absolutely adore it, especially sort of the American West era. Do I have a favourite author? I like D. Brown. He used to write about American history. Tim Heath, who writes about World War II history mainly. A bloke called Dr. Craig Armstrong, who writes about kind of local history He's a university lecturer up in, I think it's either Scotland or the Newcastle area. And Stephen Wynne, who writes about mainly World War II, but he actually covers quite a few areas of speciality. So they're my favourite authors. So that's Dee Brown, Tim Heath, Stephen Wynne and Dr. Craig Armstrong. 1001 activities. Do you have a favourite outdoor activity? No, not at the moment. Oh no, I tell a lie. I've started gardening this year. Obviously, I think with money being tight around the world, I've started growing, or trying to grow, my own vegetables in the garden. So I've had some success this year. Potatoes, spring onions, lettuce, carrots, some herbs. They all went well. There was a few failures, but I mean that was kind of mainly because of the hot sun and the maybe forgetting to water them one night, that sort of thing. But anyway, the garden's going to go bigger next year. I'm planning on a great big plot, so might come in with the odd cucumber or soggy lettuce next year. 1001, this is the last one. Book clubs. Not a prompt, but a question for the comments. Should I start a 1001 book club? With a book a month for a read along? That must be something to do with whoever set the questions. Anyway, that's all the questions. Thank you very much for watching. I'll try and make this a short video because obviously not many people like the long ones. But thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the questions or the answers and the video, then please feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, then please do. It's much appreciated and you're welcome to come along and join the gang. And if you want to promote me or share any of my videos or tell friends and family about the channel, then you're more than welcome, and I'd be very grateful indeed. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Please take care of yourselves, and hopefully you have a good week with your family. And I shall see you next time for another video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.